So while I was tool-assisted speedrunning some game, an idea came to my mind. What if I tried to make a tool-assisted speedrun inside another tool-assisted speedrun? Is it even gonna be possible? Let's find out. Hello, I'm Dado, and this is my first TAS commentary. For this experiment, I'm gonna use the PC emulator. In order to make a TAS with a PCM, the program called libTAS is required because it allows me to control PCM precisely, frame by frame, input by input. Plus, it has save states. For the PCM configuration, I'm gonna use TAS videos guide. In a nutshell, the PCM is emulating Pentium 2 450 MHz, 3DFX Voodoo 3 3000, and 256 MB of RAM. The OS installed on that emulated hardware is Windows XP Service Pack 3. Alright, the first layer for TASing is done. Now we need a second TAS layer. I downloaded an old build of the NES emulator FCEUX that is compatible with Windows XP and has the TAS tools built in. Now that everything is set up, let's start up the TAS movie. While the Windows XP is booting up, I should tell you what the original plan was. When you make TASes, there are two modes, recording mode and playback mode. I plan to use the playback mode because that's how I usually make TASes. Though, there's one small issue. Since click and drag wasn't added yet, I'd have to double click to make just a single input, and that would be tedious. Especially because it's done already using an input editor to control the mouse movement and clicks. Someone from TAS Video's Discord server told me that it would be easier to make a TAS entirely using the recording mode. So that's exactly what I did. First thing I did was turning off the Enhanced Pointer Precision option, because it would allow me to control the cursor more precisely. Yeah, it sounds counterintuitive, but with that option turned on, my pointer wouldn't be in the same position after using the same coordinates. The next thing I do is making a folder on desktop, then copy-pasting the files for emulator and the game ROM from the CD into that folder, since running everything from the CD would cause a risk of desync. And right now, I'm recording the TAS movie by playing Super Mario Bros. In the recording mode. Since I've got zero experience in making TASes for Super Mario Bros., I used FlameX's TAS as a guide for acceleration and the flagpole glitch. Shout out to FlameX. Though his TAS did help, I still had to visually match every frame of acceleration and the flagpole glitch. Inputs looked very different because of the emulation issues with PCM. As you can see, there's a slight lag when playing the game. Frame rate mismatch could also be one of the factors that makes inputs look different. This TAS only beats the first level of Super Mario Bros. Immediately after finishing the TAS, I turn on Encoding, and while it's encoding, I set the time to be before the year 2037. Otherwise, I'll get this error in Windows Media Player. I wait for the Mario to enter the castle, then stop the encoding, and immediately set up the Windows Media Player so I can watch the encoded TAS. Yeah, there are audio issues, but still, everything technically works. And there you have it. Recording, encoding, and watching the TAS movie inside another TAS. And to answer the question, is it possible to make a tool-assisted speedrun inside of a tool-assisted speedrun? Yes, it absolutely is. Do I recommend it? Hell no! Unless you find some emulator that won't have lag issues, it is not worth it. Maybe Game Boy or Game Boy Color would be less demanding, or some other ancient emulator that has the TAS tools and Windows XP support. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you want to see more TAS commentaries like this, make sure to subscribe.